Hey guys, just to let you know that the gameplay audio does get a little bit duplicated. That's just an emulator card bug through OBS, and we're just sorry for that. But otherwise, myself and Chewie are absolutely fine, so enjoy the podcast. As today at the Kappa Club bar for the Kappa Club podcast, Chewie, we're getting perhaps maybe a little bit of fancy.
Ooh.
We're done with burgers and ales this week. We're on to
Oh.
champagne and caviar because
Oh,
we're experiencing the finer things in life, aren't we, right now?
well, yeah, the podcast is doing really well, dude. We are living like rich men already. The third episode already, dude. Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
You already have caviar and champagne.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. This time, we're going old school, dude.
we
Going
are
to, I'm pretty
indeed.
sure, your favorite Mario game, isn't it? Or your favorite game, even, some would say.
This is well up there. Like, yeah, this would be easily in the top 5 without even, like, trying to go between them. Because that's the funny thing with games, right? That you can have different moods to different games. You can different genres. Like, why? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the controls again because it's always that case of Mario. You go back in, like, after 5 minutes, you're like, yeah, I know everything about this game once again, but it's riding the bike with a game. But yeah,
There you go. Checkpoint.
you gotta think, like, the difference between 2D and 3D Mario is massive, isn't it? I think the closest you've got is Mario 3D World that just got released again.
Yeah.
And even then, that's like, I would say, a weird middle ground and a sort of genre of its own right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same idea. You do level and go to the end, but it's just different because it's a 3D space, you know? So you can do probably more than 2D space, I would say.
Yeah.
As you can see from the games, actually, so. Because I feel like you also played probably other, like, Mario games, Mario Bros and stuff. And that's gonna usually the same every time. Like, it's not really different, you know? And I feel like with 3D games, they made like 2 already, and they're already vastly different from one another. Oh, it's my turn. Should I
Yeah,
do this
so,
one again?
yeah, after each level or after each death, me and Chewie change turns. We're playing this. Again, this is why I say Nintendo Switch Online is well worth the 20 quid. I know for some of our younger listeners or just younger Nintendo players, they don't really care about the online aspect. And largely many wouldn't buy it because they're just too busy on Fortnite, you know, and you don't have to pay for that. But for 20 quid to Chewy, especially during, like, for a lot of older people during the current world climate, just being able to play these games and control them as if we were next to each other. Don't get me wrong, like, this Nintendo Online can be a little bit funky. That's why I'd recommend everyone to get, like, an Ethernet adapter for their Switch, just one of the USB ones, because that really does help, doesn't it?
I mean, especially for like more recent games like Smash and stuff, because the lag on that game can be really bad. I feel like this is bad so far, you know, just because it's like a smaller game. I think of Yoshi, dude. There you go. I wanna go up here. I wanna go up here, explore.
So the
continue.
Dragon Coin you just got, I find such an interesting part of, like, how Nintendo used to do stuff, because they were meant to be important. In the end, you just collect all 5 Dragon Coins, you get a 1-up at the end of it. It's like just a points thing. Because at the end of the day, points don't really matter. It's just bragging rights between you and your friends. But there's so many ideas within this that the Yoshi coins / Dragon coins don't actually matter at all. They were meant to, like, you know how in the modern games you collect all 3 green stars, and the whole objective is to get the green stars. Yeah, it was meant to be the same with the Dragon coins originally, but they just couldn't implement it in time because, well, game development took a lot longer back then, you know, to be able to do everything. I was about to grab that, and I did. But yeah, let's just get some lives.
Yeah, it seems that they did it, I guess, to evolve, like, started these coins, and they were like, well, you can actually use these for more levels, you know? Because in the more recent Mario Bros. Games, you actually need them to actually complete the game, you know? And I'm pretty sure in 3D World, you also need all of them to get the hardest level complete. So it's more a cooler version of being like, reward the people who actually took the time to collect all of them, you know?
Which is strange, because what was it on the DS, Super Mario Bros. 2, where they just went hammer with coins to the point that you just got ridiculous amounts, and off the back of it, lives and lives and lives. So I'm not all about that, but the Dragon Coin idea, the the Green Star idea is a fantastic one just to have worthwhile collectibles. You know?
I mean, I feel like the point of the Mario Bros. 2 game was more to get 1 million coins. I think that was the head objective. Because if you did that, then you pretty much completed the thing. Like, that was the last screen you could unlock, as you could say. And it was more a flex. Like, it's more just fun to, I guess, collect coins. But I'm pretty sure they also still had the star coins, where you just have to collect 3 of them on each map, and then you can get secret levels in the star world, which I think is still quite easy for them to do. Like, you just reward people that are curious enough to actually collect all of them, like dedicated enough to do it, which I think is good. Like, there's no downfall to that, in my opinion. Need more content in the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, and I always think the quote-unquote secret levels in Mario games are the most exciting because they're just so unique in their own ways. Like, even taking it from 2D space, like the whole secret world, the special world, in Super Mario World, the game we're playing right now, is incredible.
Yeah.
But even if you go to something like Super Mario Sunshine, and the quote-unquote secret levels there, you know, where they're just the one-off
Pachinko
ones
machine.
in the overworld. Oh, apart from the Pachinko machine, that one was just terrible. I can't stand
I mean, they're all
Pachinko.
pretty bad, to be honest. Like, you can just tell it wasn't meant to be for that kind of game, like the movement, without flood, I should say. Like, the movement is not as good without flood as it is with flood.
The reason why they're so good is that they're experimenting, right? Because these are things that wouldn't really fit in a world, like as part of the mechanics and the theme of the world, but because you're in this sub area as such, you can do anything. You can flex, like the one with flood, you know, where you go into, like, oh, I don't need that, turbo mode. That's the one I was looking for. And you sort of like have a quote-unquote race to the finish where you're just zipping along until you get to the end, because you're just limited. I destroyed it. Wow.
What happened there, dude? Crazy game.
I don't know. We don't talk about it, okay? Whoa.
Okay, I won't.
Thank you.
The viewers might, who are watching YouTube, but I won't.
Please, viewers, don't. I'm trusting the viewers at home not to tell a living soul, because that would be spoilers, wouldn't it now? Oh.
I mean, fair warning, don't go to the comments if you don't want to get spoiled, you know, so. People are allowed to talk about the podcast, dude. Just saying, if you want spoilers, don't go to the comments.
I think that's because people normally don't look at comments before they watch a YouTube video, right?
I do it all the time. When I'm watching a video, I just go to the comments. Yeah, I mean, dude,
sometimes. Why?
Sometimes a video is boring, dude. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the comments, dude. Maybe there's a funny comment somewhere. It's time to do a funny moment in the video, you know. Just say, dude, sometimes videos are boring to watch, dude, and you need to kill some time. You need to go to the comments. I'm pretty sure most people do the same thing. Because I do see
no, because I just go watch something else. If I'm not enjoying the video, I'll just click off it.
No, I still enjoy it, dude. But like, I might as well watch the comments, dude. In the meantime, otherwise I'm gonna end watch the video, then also watch the comment. I want to do it at the same time, dude. Because, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's just a video, dude. Like, it doesn't really matter if they get spoiled for it, you know. It's just a YouTube video. They spoil me all they want. Oh, that's not good.
I completely forgotten this game as well, because like by playing the new Mario games, you're conditioned that if you get hit, you just go back to Super Mario, you know, Mushroom Mario, and then Mario. Like you get an extra life as such. But in this one, like the OG games, now you just went back to Small Mario, and it does.
Ruthless.
Whilst I think this game is quite easy, I'm gonna say, but that's because I know it, you know.
Yeah.
It is way harder than the new Mario games, I find. The only thing that's hard in new Mario games are when you get like you alluded to it earlier with new Mario 3D World with Champions Road. That's actually like a gauntlet. That is hard. That's not easy, and we're not saying that, but I'm just like the normal levels. And that can be for a whole manner of reasons, because Mario games actually level quite well as they go on. Because it's all about, you know, you're given one idea and then it develops later on about like, oh, how do you play with that, you know?
I mean, like, obviously games have been more forgiving over time. Like, you can just see this, how, like, I'm pretty sure even live, like, the whole life system is way less than it used to be back in the day, you know? It's because times change, and I'm pretty sure that you realize that, you know, games should be easier because everyone should be able to play it, you know? So I'm pretty sure they do get easier over time. It's not just a feeling; it's actually happening. You know. There you go, dude. Kill him. Kill Larry. Oh. So, quick question, dude. Is this then one of your first games you ever played in your life or not? Like, is this like big nostalgic value for you?
This isn't the first Mario game I ever played, I think.
No, it's not.
No, I want to say 64 is the first Mario game I ever played.
Oh, okay.
But this has got massive nostalgia value for me because, like, so I'm a 95 baby. The N64 came out in 97. So by all accounts, I can remember playing the SNES and N64 as growing up, but the SNES, like, because my dad he enjoyed video games and such. But I can remember, what game was it on? I want to say it was Donkey Kong on the SNES was like kept out, but the main console was the N64. Like, I can remember one of my birthdays getting Pokemon Stadium and being at the office with my dad because like he just took me in work that day. It was a weekend, so he was just going in to do some extra stuff or whatever, and like left me in the office for 10 minutes, whatever, to pop down to the shop and getting Pokemon Stadium, and it coming with like the Game Boy Color reader for Pokemon Red, and that was just like awesome. And the N64 to me will always have the like greatest childhood memories, so my nostalgia of the N64 makes it a great console for me. But the SNES, like whenever I look at it compared to now, they've aged so well. SNES games to me are quite timeless, just because they were at the peak of like 2D. Like you take Shovel Knight, we played that last time round, right? And Shovel Knight plays very similarly to this, and you could think that Shovel Knight, whilst it looks better, don't get me wrong, because it's using modern techniques.
It's modern. Yeah,
the same game could have come out on the SNES, right?
I mean, the whole game is based on these kind of games. I'm pretty sure the inspiration was this game for like the map that you see in game. And what was it? I think it was the Donald Duck game with Scrooge McDuck for the shovel drop. So like these old games, they have like a real resurgence because something like this hype, it was hype at least. And since then, a lot of games that look like this came out, like 8-bit style, 16-bit style. Like look at Celeste, I feel like people that got older are getting nostalgic to these games, so they just went back to the game, but then in a new way, like Shovel Knight, like Celeste, pretty much the same style but just new.
And that's got to be the developers of these games are getting to the age where when they were kids they're playing these, and now they're game developers. So this is what they grew up with, and this is what they want to emulate. They want to pass on this experience. And straight, have you played? You played this game before, right, Chi?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, and you completed it, like.
Well, I didn't complete it, but I did play it. I never completed this game, dude.
Wow. Perhaps. I don't think we're gonna complete it today. I know I can do this game in like 2 hours.
Oh, speedrun Sam? It's a bit long though still. It must be shorter.
We could really speedrun it if we wanted to. I'm not going to today. I want to take more of a relaxed pace. But that's the beauty of this game, is there's like not unintentional shortcuts, but like secret routes, so that you get more replayability.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the whole concept of Mario Bros. Now anyways. Like, I'm pretty sure, I think we also do Donkey Kong, but you skip multiple worlds, and it's still a thing, just because if you want to speedrun it, you can speedrun it by doing the secret path, I guess. And I'm pretty sure you also get new levels if you do secret paths sometimes. I remember in the DS version you could get like a whole new trail, or like path you unlocked if you went the secret way, which is pretty cool.
Right. So what we're doing here, Chew, you know how I've already got the no, this ain't speedrun at all, mate.
Oh.
So you know how we got the in the first world we unlocked the invisible slots. The invisible blocks. So that they weren't there. hit the button room, the special button room, you'll see it in a second. You can go in there. So this is all about just unlocking those, and they're all hidden throughout these different worlds. There's one in each, like this one over here, secret level. And this is what I'm saying about. There's so many secrets in this one.
Man. You paid me, dude. You should do the secret level.
You're going to go in there? So like that level is not complete, but we can still like. If you want to go complete normally, go on.
I'll do it, dude. Don't worry, man. I mean, dude, I'm pretty sure there was like a rumor as well, right, about there being a really secret level that just unlocks something crazy, which was eventually turned to be fake. But I think it's pretty funny, even after all these years, people still have like these fake rumors going around about the game, being like, if you do this, you can get a really, really secret level, even though it's not actually real. Just funny to me that this game is still relevant after all those years.
Well, again, that's because of the key system in this, where you can't see the levels on the map. You think you can because you can see the normal route, but all the branching levels are invisible until you actually unlock them. So there's so many different ways of, but how do I get over there and all of that, you know? And that just makes the game super interesting, and why people like it's the schoolyard or in the playground where you and your friends would be like, oh, have you done this trick? And you're like, no, how'd you do that? And then some kids would make up ways and all of that because that's kids, right? And I absolutely adore that. And a thing that saddens me is kids these days probably don't get that so much because, you find out all of it through, like, all kids are on Twitter or YouTube, And so they don't get all these fake news little game things.
Look at Fall Guys, dude. Fall Guys, I was a beast of Fall Guys, dude. But then the trailers came out and then every little kid knew every single tactic as well, dude. It ruined the game, dude. It ruined the game.
I love how you're like, it ruined the game, but it's fantastic because, like, for me, coming from my esports background, right, I look at it and go, dang, like, the skill ceiling is always going to progress. Talk about ceilings.
I don't want to kill me, dude. I thought I was going to stop there.
Yeah, a little bit of an eager beaver. I'll allow you to try and finish off this level. Oh no, I haven't even. I've got to go do this one.
Green button, man.
Sorry. You left the green button.
Mario, start. Yes, because you found it, man. I need to give it to you. Come on, I need to be a nice guy.
Oh, I forget this guy can actually kick it back, but hey, whatever.
You meaned it up.
Yeah, I
hate to see it.
Un petit meme. Okay.
Oh man. But yeah, like you said, even I still remember those times where like people invited me to help them out with like Mario Galaxy boss or Mario Bros. About like a secret level. Because in Mario Bros. Even had like boss fights, you had to kill in mini mode, in a mini variation. Which is kind of anything about it because you just did that one hit, and then you also have to find out you have to actually be mini because you can see that tiny secret path you can take if you were mini, And I think that's pretty funny because I'm pretty sure I didn't even realize it until my old sister, he had like a friend who was into Nintendo a lot, and he told us about the secret, and we were like, oh man, dude, this guy's a god at this game, dude. He knows every single secret about Mario Bros. He knows it all, dude. All the secret levels. It's pretty funny, dude.
That's adorable.
Good old days.
For me, it was kids that were good at games, like
made a mistake.
Diddy Kong Racing. Again, another one of my favorite games of all time. Fantastic kart racer. And Whizpig. The first Whizpig race boss is just super hard to the point even like today I will always struggle with it. Like, that's a true boss battle. Like, that's, if anything, the second Whizpig, Whizpig 2, where you're in the planes, is not hard at all. Whizpig 1, where you have to do it in the car, is so hard that the only way I can do it personally is by getting Drumstick, who's a hidden character for anyone that hasn't played the game at home. And you've got to go do every trophy event, basically. Like, get more than what the actual story is. So you've got to go do extra side stuff to unlock this character. And he's just got the fastest stats in the game. That's it.
Character.
So you're basically going, I have to go out of my way to get an OP character to be able to do this boss. I can't do it with like the normal ones. So there was my cousin who could do it like way ahead of time, and it was like, how do you do this when you're 6 years old or 5 years old, whatever? Like, you just look at that and go, oh yeah, don't get caught on that again. Like,
That
they're
was a good
god
point.
gamers.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's funny. Like, I'm pretty sure I talked about it yesterday with my dad and like my sister because we played Smash Bros yesterday, like the new version. My sister was like, oh, I remember the times when I was the best one at gaming, like of happening, like when we were all like 2 years old, you know. Like it's just funny that over time, like even my dad, like he used to beat us all at Mario Kart. And we were like, what? He's so good at the game, dude. But when you get older, like it's so funny how they just get worse, you know. It's like a whole new world, and suddenly you're the good one, and they are worse than you. I know, right? You know, it's funny to me.
So
Especially Wii. Mario Kart Wii was the first time. Oh, one
for
coin.
me, it happened on the GameCube. For
Yeah.
my dad, where he suddenly went, games are getting too fast for me, because they did. You know, not only was frame rate increased, but also
Mm-hmm.
they could actually flex with speed. So my dad,
Yeah.
still to this day, is quite good at N64 games, you know, but GameCube he dropped off, and that was evident from Wave Race. I absolutely adore Wave Race 64 and even the somewhat forgotten younger brother Blue Storm. I love Blue Storm still. And that's a series which, like, I will time and time again say I really want them to redo Wave Race, like come out with a new one, because like Blue Storm on the GameCube came out because they were flexing on their water physics, you know, when
Yeah.
the GameCube released. So it was a perfect fit. And the original Wave Race was a launch title for N64. Wave Race Blue Storm was launch title for GameCube. So it's a bit like the F-Zero problem where you're like, well, can we get another one, please? It's been a while, guys. Come on. Your fans really want this. I have to ditch Yoshi here, don't I?
Oh no. No.
It's fine, I wanted this. I don't want Yoshi anymore.
Tutorial.
Let's
Defying
open this up.
physics. Oh, the secret path in the water. Nice, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going for a ghost level. Wow.
This ghost house annoys
Luigi's
me. Just the
Mansion.
ghost houses in Mario always annoyed me. Because
Yeah, dude. They're
you never
confusing.
know, yeah. I know a lot of people love
tutorial.
them because it's like the puzzle aspect. And I guess, like, do you like ghost houses, Chi?
I mean, it is fun. It's just something new, you know. Like, it's fun to have different kind of levels. I don't mind them.
I was going to say, like, I can imagine people that absolutely adore ghost houses are also the ones that absolutely adore, like, Super Mario Maker with all the puzzles that they put in there.
I mean,
You can get so
just...
many Jabaitskis.
Yeah. Do it go in now? What's happening, dude? Down here.
Find out.
Oh. The arrow, dude. Thank you. Yeah, it's just funny to me. Like, I especially like when you're supposed to get all the like Uber coins, the dragon coins, whatever you call them. Just because like they're the hardest to find in these maps, you know, than compared to the other maps. So especially because I usually play with my siblings when I play Mario Bros. So we usually just try and figure out where all the things are together. It's just pretty funny to me. That's the most fun. Dude, I'm so
Back
lost,
here.
man. Need to be faster.
You do.
Speedrun? Let's go again. Please.
You're stuck in a loop, Chew.
I am.
Oh, but that was only one coin
coin.
this time.
I'm in a different room, dude, in a way. I'm saying, dude, for all the listeners, dude, this is kind of weird, dude. For the viewers,
Yeah.
they're having a good time, dude. They're having a good time, the viewers.
And
I'm just lost.
maybe the podcast listeners actually quite like that, where it's just two guys vibing, chilling, background noise, that sort of thing. But it's for me anyway, when we're looking at retro games, because I think I look at them not only like a piece of art, because like this game is gorgeous, Super Mario World, and arguably more so than the NES games, but that's just because, like I said earlier, it just holds up better. The SNES was when they really figured it out. The SNES got wonky when they were trying to do 3D, so I know there'll be fans at home for it, but hey, you figured the puzzle.
Yes.
But Star Fox on the SNES, I'm not there for it. I'm not a big Star Fox SNES fan. The 3D stuff on the SNES was, yeah, it weren't good.
They're still figuring out. So like, I'm pretty sure it's also like a racing game. I don't know what it's called, but I did play it because it was kind of like a meme hype game, you know, because it was a fun 3D racing game. It doesn't really feel 3D, but you see that trying to be 3D. So it's confusing.
It's the idea of like how F-Zero and Super Mario did it, where it's just sprites that get bigger or smaller to emulate the effect, and that's just first generation 3D, so it's understandable. But yeah, it's not there. Whereas you look at this, and this is fully worked out. They know exactly what they're doing with this.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is still everyone's favorite style, even Mario Maker. People prefer this style because it's the cutest style there is to all of them, you know? It's the most colorful one.
Like, I can dig the Mario 3 aesthetic as well. No, I don't want that.
Oh, but no, Fireflower?
No, capes are the best power-ups, dude.
I mean, you
legit
can fly,
just
I guess.
OP.
Oh, you were fast there, dude. Hacking, man.
Yeah, because you got the P block.
Oh, P block OP. Oh, man. This guy has all attack, dude. Professional Mario player. So, how often did you beat this game then? Like full playthrough?
I quite often do a full playthrough of this, like once a year at least.
Oh man! So I'm assuming you did like 15 playthroughs at least.
Oh,
15, right?
easily, yeah. And like across
more.
the SNES, the Game Boy Advance, when they called this Super Mario. Well, like it was Super Mario Advance. Was this 2 or 3? I can't remember. But it was super weird. Because they like re-released and ported all the Mario games across to the Game Boy Advance. And yeah, they were just the exact same games. They're called Game Boy, like Super Mario Advance, which is weird, whatever. But yeah, I've completed it numerous times on there because that's, you know, you played your handheld, you played the Game Boy Advance or DS way more than the home console growing up, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's easier. Like you could take it on vacation. You know, it just I guess especially for kids, it's just a superior console.
It's like I said, for kids nowadays, like let's just say with the Switch, I bet you way more kids play on handheld mode than on the TV, just because like it's still the factor of parents don't want their kids to have TVs in the rooms. I know that like way more kids have TVs in the rooms right now. Like that was becoming a thing when I was like a teenager roughly, where you know you would have built-in DVD players. When I was a kid, you had built-in VHS tapes, you know, so it was always this weird sort of like transition phase, and that's just mainly cost, you know, the cost of being able to give your child that. Because like I said, the built-in stuff was like what, 200 quid, which is quite a bit of money. Like you look at game consoles nowadays, and you've got the, let's just say the One X or the PlayStation X without the smaller version, whatever, and that's like 250 quid, and you're like, kids you can afford that quite easily, or not quite easily, but it's way more affordable than the new like PS5 and the full fat Series X, where they're like what, 500, 600 quid. And it goes to show like why the Wii sold so well was just because it was cheap, and it's always going to be the case of like money is a thing, and this is just a small entertainment product. No, I do want this.
Oh, take it, dude. I also think that because the Wii U is brilliant, just because for the reason you could still play when your like your dad wants to watch TV, and I'm pretty sure still with the Switch is also pretty popular because you can just play while your dad or your mom is watching TV, you know. So even then, I feel like a lot of kids, like they might start on TV, but eventually the dad's like, I want to watch, I don't know, I want to watch sports now, you know, and then you can still play. And so I think for that reason alone, it's still really popular to just play handheld. Because to be honest, the quality isn't even that bad. Like when I play on a handheld, it's still fine. Like maybe in some games it's actually not good looking. Like I would say Xenoblade, when I played it in handheld, it wasn't terrible, but I still prefer playing on the big screen, you know, just because I want to see the details in that game.
And Xenoblade on the Are you talking about the Wii U or the
Switch, the
the
Switch.
Switch? Okay, yeah, that it's not too bad on the Switch. I was going to say, because Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U was horrible because of that art styles. They tried to make it a little bit more, I don't want to say realistic, but powerful, right?
I mean, they
Whereas,
were going for a more realistic style. You could tell they were going for a more realistic style with like the characters and stuff. Like
more
the
CG,
probably,
we'll call it, over anime.
yeah.
Because,
They're probably more focused on genes, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, it
Like,
was
even-
more
even
mature. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Even it's like weird because for the X version you use the pad for the map, dude, and then suddenly you didn't have a map anymore. It's just weird to me to play
Yeah,
on
it was so
handheld.
confusing playing it handheld. you sort of like lost all
Well,
track
my
of where
map is
to go.
gone.
As well, like the handheld, like using the map was so big in Xenoblade Chronicles X, purely because like that's where you could keep track of where items were within the world, because you had to do so much hunting to craft certain stuff, didn't you? And so yeah, without that, you could go into a menu, correct? But it was like that's just extra fiddliness to it all. That's not needed.
Yeah. I mean, X was really confusing because you also had like that whole system where you have to earn money with like you have to visit locations, then put a thing there, and then also connect them with the correct things with other locations. So the game alone was really confusing to actually earn a lot of money, because I don't know if you remember, but if you're like your giant suit, because you could have like a giant suit to fight bigger monsters. You
Your
probably
mech,
remember that?
yeah.
Yeah, your mech. So if you broke it and you didn't time it correctly, oh,
Talk about
man.
timing it correctly. Oof.
Yeah, so if your mech broke and you didn't time it correctly, then you had to pay, I think, it was 25 mil or something, like 15 mil for every mech that broke, you know. But as you can tell, that's a lot of money. But I'm pretty sure even maybe I was a perfect gamer, dude, or I had a bugged game, but I never had to pay anything for the things breaking, my mechs breaking. So who knows, dude? Maybe I'm the perfect human being.
I was going to say, I can't remember the mech breaking down that often for me personally.
Did you beat the game though? Because I'm pretty sure you only streamed a few times, right? Like you streamed the.
I can't remember.
You're trying to stream the playthrough.
Yeah, I can't remember definitely not 100% in it. And
No, but that's
I
kind of hard.
didn't get to the last region.
Fire region, corpus.
Yeah, I'm a failed gamer. I'm sorry, Chew. As
That's fine, dude.
like, because it's a long game.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
the problem was, like, I got it towards the end of the
predicament, I think.
yeah, I wanted I just wanted the feather, that's all it is.
Oh yeah, top man.
That's all I wanted.
I mean, talking about Xenoblade games, I still haven't actually beat Xenoblade 2 fully yet. Like, I'm pretty sure I still have one more boss fight to go, and then like a whole new region afterwards. I've seen it at least. Like, I don't really care to spoil it for myself because I'm gonna play it anyways at one point. But yeah, Xenoblade games are so long, and when you get stuck, you have to grind so long to kill after the boss fight. Like, I remember in Xenoblade 1 when I did the remastered version, I told you about it as well. There's like this one boss fight that was just so annoying to fight, and like I had to kill so many more monsters to get like 6 levels above her to actually be able to kill her.
Well,
that's
JRPGs in a nutshell, because right in the moment, so you know that Final Fantasy VII, the remake, has just come out on the PS4, PS Plus, for free. So I've started playing the original Final Fantasy VII again, to sort of like do this is what it was, this is what it's come to sort of moment, which is really cool for me, because I absolutely love that with remakes. And I've got that exact problem because JRPGs were just always rotten with it, because especially back during, I want to say, the early days, quote unquote, which isn't too early because JRPGs were around since the NES, you know, like the original Final Fantasy and the Dragon Quest, whatever have you. But it's just that fact of sometimes the coding and idea of bosses make them way stronger than their actual level. For those at home, because I know, Chew, you haven't played Final Fantasy VII.
No, I haven't.
But for those at home, I've got to the part where you've got to get Vincent from the basement. That's all I'm going to say. But the boss
Okay.
to get the key from is super duper hard for that level, and I just got absolutely rolled because I forgot how hard it was. Like that boss is a good 5 levels over what you are at that time, so
Yeah.
I just instantly have gone out to the world to start grinding, and in the pain of just doing that for we're talking hours, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that sort of game, and you're just like, why did you have to do this, guys? Why could you not just like
I mean, oh,
goal?
he did it, man. Perfect. He did great. I mean, especially because of course you want to do this fast as possible. So what I did, I just killed the same monster. Like it was like food of the same monster with all pretty high level. I just killed him over and over again for like 3 hours until I actually went back to the boss fight. Like it's kind of fun to, I guess, you know, maybe to grind, but it's also kind of annoying where you just want to keep going with the story, you know. Like please, I don't want to play the story now, please.
So the one thing I love that actually makes grinding in Final Fantasy VII quite good is that there's, if you don't know what about it, just quick explain. To get your magic, anyone can use any magic because it's part of a system called materia. Which are equippable magic, basically. Like a normal item, like you would equip a sword, you can equip different magics. And 2 of my characters have got this one called enemy skill, which is if an enemy attacks you, you have a chance to, like a 10% chance to learn that skill, that move. And then you can just use it from then on like a magic. And so actually grinding out in the world is not the worst thing ever because you're sort of at the same time not only grinding the level, but grinding for really good moves. And so sometimes, your grinding can actually be well worth it because just grinding for the levels is boring. But if you're grinding for an objective, like some people getting shiny Pokemon, you know, can actually be really rewarding. Like shiny hunting in Pokemon is massive. So, oh no.
Oh, what? Hackerman?
Yeah, I just ran straight off.
He's racking it up, dude. So,
So there's always those little like enticements to give a little bit more, and that's where it's worth it.
yeah.
But
I mean, personally,
with
for me,
Xenoblade, it was just boring.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, the biggest thing, like the biggest thing I like about Xenoblade is the world anyway. So, like, I don't mind going around in the world. Just that fighting the whole time is getting kind of boring at some point, you know.
Yeah. And I guess you could argue with Xenoblade, and for many other games, and this is my problem with a lot of survival games, is that, you can go out and you can not only level, but look for resources. I'm not wired that way. I like to get more powerful straight, like, from doing that leveling. I don't want it to get, you know, so much wood to be able to make something, or this animal's pelt, or whatever, you know, like, that's just not how I function personally. So, like,
Well,
I find Minecraft a weird one. I don't get I understand the hype around Minecraft, you know, but it's not for me, if that makes sense.
I mean, I feel like the big side for Minecraft is just being able to build whatever you want. I think that's what makes Minecraft big. And then, because of that, you could also make any minigame you want. Because personally, I still play the game sometimes, but at some point I'm just like, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I just don't have any inspiration to build another castle, you know. So if you don't do that stuff, then it's kind of getting old pretty quick, I guess. Because you're doing the same stuff over again. You're going to the end, kill the end dragon again, get yourself the elytra, get yourself the best armor there is, and then you're pretty much done, you know. Unless, like I said, you build. Yeah,
So do you like wait for updates within Minecraft, or at least like whenever a new update comes out, because they do still add content quite regularly, don't they, to Minecraft? Do you just like have a cheeky look at the patch notes every they add an update like once every month, near enough? Do you just look at if it's something that interests you, you go back on it, or do you just like open up the game once every other month and then just see what's new?
No, it's more people notify me about it. That's more how it is. Like my brother's like, "Oh, have you seen this?" And Gooms, like one of our friends, just mess me about the cable update and stuff, you know. Like personally, like I still like Minecraft, of course, but I'm not really into it anymore. I'm more waiting for a game called Haito, which is kind of like going to be the successor of Minecraft pretty much. Like it's going to be Minecraft a bit better. Like it's kind of going to be a mix between Minecraft and Terraria. So that's one of the stuff I'm really into right now. Like I want to hear more about that stuff. But you know, if it's going to come something to Minecraft, it might be fun to play. You know, just play play with the boys, do like a quick session, then after a few weeks, stop playing again until they add something new.
Yeah, that's my problem with Minecraft. Attention span just does not last for it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it just depends how many big projects you have, you know?
Oh, my inputs are super delayed. Okay, that's weird.
Even though you're the hostie, what the heck, man? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Crap internet, it seems.
Like, I think it's more my controllers. I'm starting to, because I'm using them. I'm just using the Joy-Cons for this.
Oh, mini worms.
Ooh. I'm trying to remember what they're called. Those ones, are they Wumps? Because they've all got different names. They're super silly, and I adore them.
Use Thwomps and Worms, all this kind of stuff.
I want to say they're jumping Wumps or something like that. Because they're Wumps. Thwomps are the ones in 64 that fall over.
The blue ones. Oh, this one. Okay, yeah. What are the blue ones called then? Also just Thwomps, just a different design.
No, they're Wumps as well. They're the same as what those are, but just in the 3D world.
Okay. Yeah, and they look weird because they're blue out of nowhere.
Yeah, but that's just again how they redesigned them to go into 3D. I don't know, whatever.
I mean, after 64, they already moved them. Like they just changed back to the old style because the old style is better than the blue style. Even they know that, dude. Even they know that it's better. Give it to me, please. But yeah, dude. I think you would not enjoy Valheim then, dude. What you were just saying.
Yeah, I probably won't. Like,
even though Valheim is really popular right now, like I think so, sort of 5 million already in 3 weeks. It's kind of crazy for such a small game. Oh, this is bad.
It's actually quite cool that small indie games get so like good following and actually good sales these days, because naturally it's just so easy to sell games at the moment. Wrong one.
Wrong one? Oh man, different tricks from the man.
They're debating you.
Well, I want the coins, dude. I want the coins.
You don't need the coins. Coins are worthless.
I want coins. It's my life, dude.
Money.
Yeah, dude. Where is Wario Land, dude? We need Wario Land on this. Oh, am I dead? I am. Love to see it, dude. Love to see it.
Oh, you do. You really do. But Wario Land, yeah, like, that was a good game for just, get all the monies. And I loved, like, how it gave you different... Yeah, my game's fine now.
Okay.
How it gave you different outcomes depending on how much money you got. Like, on the... Just the original one, like, whether you got the princess or not. And, like, different...
Well, open-ended game, I don't know. It's pretty sick.
Why did I do that? So
yeah. I mean, think about it. They could easily just switch Mario Bros 2 and just put Wario there instead. Because the game's all about money as well. Just put Wario in there, man.
Yeah.
You fixed it. You have a new Wario game. Easy.
Then again, because that... what was the DS Wario game? Because there was one. I remember on the... Oh, you stopped it? You pressed start. Okay, there we go. No. I can't press start to stop the game.
I want to press me. I want to move me up. Not allowed. No,
I love how people at home probably questioning what on earth are these little sound effects going on. I find it so...
You're supporting me.
Yeah, just I'm trying to give support to you. Go on, you got this.
Oh.
Go on, Chew.
Oh, a little whistle there, sorry.
Yeah, little Chew.
Spice it up. Spice it up.
Oh man.
Oh, let me up. Let me up.
So,
I mean, oh, you want to go first? You can go first.
I was going to say, one thing as well, not only the graphics that are timeless from the SNES, but, I mean, we've been listening to it for a while now. The music from this era was just, for me anyway, something else, because, and the way that they made music during this era is crazy.
I feel like Nintendo always hit the nail with music, like any console. The music's always been good in general games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Because I think that's just because they, I wouldn't say prioritize it. Like, Nintendo have never been graphics are key, right? Hence why. No. I mean, you look at most of their consoles. They've never been the most powerful for the time. Like the SNES was pretty much out of date for a lot of it. And the N64, whilst being powerful, and the same with the GameCube, whilst being powerful, had their own little nuances and problems. That's why they weren't the best selling. And by all means, the GameCube was a flop. You know, it had great games, but it didn't have the great sales. Like the N64, whilst having great games, did not actually have good sales. Like when you're comparing it to the PS1, it probably, because Nintendo wanted to beat PlayStation. That's quite simple. Like the PS1 only ever came about because PlayStation was doing the partnership with Nintendo, and then Nintendo just like went, nah, we don't want to do this anymore, and PlayStation just made Sony made the PlayStation like out of spite, which is
it's kind of
funny.
crazy to think about it.
Yeah. Nintendo could have like up to this day could still be working with PlayStation right now. Like, what would have happened with that? Because they were going to call it the PlayStation instead of like instead of the N64.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be better now, because now there's going to be more of a rivalry, and I think rivalry is needed to improve. So I think it's better that they actually drop PlayStation, I guess. As long as there's like
for
no hard feelings
consumers,
about
definitely.
it. Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't have got, I would imagine anyway, we wouldn't have got so many good N64 games purely because
and PlayStation games, don't forget PlayStation games, dude.
Because they wouldn't have been competing and trying to, like, you got to think of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and were like the response like Sega had with Sonic. Sonic was purely created to be a counter to Mario. He was the Sega Mario, right, as a mascot character. And the same with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Admittedly, Spyro was done by Universal Studios, but they had an exclusivity deal, and Crash Bandicoot was more done. I can't remember who Crash was originally done by, but at any rate, like,
probably.
Yeah.
Scott.
No, I'm saying like the publisher for.
Oh,
I hate myself so much.
Stop banging on the monsters, dude. Stop banging on the monsters.
There's so much like. So again, one topic we can go into as well is like Mario Maker. I absolutely, whilst I love Mario Maker, I hate Mario Maker so much because
me.
with the interaction. Whereas it's more because I look at this and go, the fault there is on me. And this is a lot of my thing with gaming. If the mistake is because of myself, I don't mind. If the fault is because of someone else, or
couldn't be me. No, couldn't be me. No.
or because the game is just buggy, glitchy, then I get so angry and frustrated. You're okay here, buddy. You're struggling to find your way through.
No. I'm just collecting stuff. See, I got a 5 right now. I got the coin. See, dude, you know me, dude. I'm a collector, dude. Look at even a 1-up, dude. I'm saying, you need them, dude. I'm on 9. You have 3 left, so we need to watch out. I'm just saying. No, look at that. I'm on 5 flower. I'm leveling up here, dude. I'm leveling up.
Do you want me to come through and like unlock the hidden red block switch room?
Just keep doing what you do.
I'll do. Yeah. So in this playthrough, because we're probably about halfway into the podcast right now, a little bit over. I'll keep doing little secrets. I'll give up on where I am right now because that's just going to loop back anyway to the main course. So I'm going to give up on what I'm doing now. I'm just going to keep coming and helping with secrets. That feels like fun.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Ooh, you gotta be careful.
I mean, the thing with Mario Maker is, I feel like you take it too serious, dude. Like, Mario Maker is just for memes, you know. It's just that they have fun with the boys, dude. It's just fun to meme around, throw each other off the map, just race to the end. That's why I like Mario Maker the most. Like, I love Mario Maker too, just because, in my opinion, it's still the best online game I've played with the boys. Just because of the amount of memes you had in that game. Ooh, look at that.
So, like, here comes the yes, but no. Because
yes, you know.
Mario Maker is competitive. It's not a co-op game, it's a competitive game, right? And so when I'm competing against other people, yet they can screw me over. That's where, like, that just gets out the saltiness in me. And, like, this is why I'm saying Mario Maker is a great game. I love it. I just hate it at the same time, you know? And in so many ways, love that I can have such a response to a game because it means that I enjoy it quite a lot. Like, you don't get salty at a game like that unless you really enjoy it, you know?
I mean,
Salty because
I
of
just wonder,
glitches is another complete different thing. And again, like when
PUBG.
Mario Maker
Oh
starts
man.
getting really laggy, again, that's a
Yeah.
completely different thing. But yeah, let me just come back. Also, I love that
I
you can
mean,
see the end, like the last level this early.
yeah, dude.
So
Bowser.
Um,
Even back then, they gave Bowser the neon sound, dude. And to this day, Mario 3D World, he still has the neon level. They really love Bowser with neon.
if Bowser was
I
in the
mean,
real world, he'd be in Vegas. You know that, right?
yeah, dude. Of course,
He would own a
him and Wario.
casino, be
Him
taking
and Wario, dude.
Ooh. Like, yeah,
mean,
they would
dude,
be competing, like competitive casinos with one another, trying to get as much moolah as they possibly can.
I mean, dude, like you were talking about Mario Maker being competitive, but how do you feel about Mario Party then? Because Mario Party is also still competitive, but even then, like you don't take it as serious, right?
No.
It's like a party game. Then, like, why do you take Mario Maker serious if the boys?
So
Is that I'm wondering.
Mario Party, my favorite ones are always I do take it competitively, but Mario Party, my favorite levels are always the 2v2 ones.
Okay.
The 1v3s are always a little bit naff, and the 4 free for alls are always
depends,
quite good
dude.
fun.
It depends, dude. Some of the 3v1 ones are just amazing, dude.
Like,
Well, especially the new one. There's this one where someone's on a chain jump and the other three are trying to dodge the chain jump. It's just funny, dude. Like, it's just funny if you don't want to play a board game, because over here, no one really wants to play board games except for me, because I think it takes too long. So instead we just do mini games. So like, if there's like a fun mini game about surviving for the longest, we play it all the time here, dude. Just because it's the most fun to play. So that's also why we like Mario Maker, probably.
oh no! Oh, I missed.
Oh, little Warrior reference in there,
The
dude.
Warrior
Love to
reference.
see it,
We're
love to
talking
see it.
about the. That's one thing as well. Like back in those early days, like how it's sort of jumbled Warrior was, and it's interesting because when you look at how they talk about development of Mario Party, for example, that was the first time when characters like Wario actually had voice to him.
Yeah.
And you've got the translation teams that are handling the voices because it's easier to put this out universally and just use the same voices across all three of them. And whilst Wario is Italian because he's like evil Mario, like the whole point of Wario is that he's just evil Mario. That's what Wa means. But when the translators looked at him, they thought Wario was a German character.
Yeah,
and so
dude.
they tried to give him a German twinge. And it just it's really intriguing that so little was communicated, but so much freedom was given, you know?
I mean, if you think about it, it's also weird that Mario is the most successful mascot, because like if you got Spyro the dragon, or Crash Bandicoot the animal, or Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, they're all animals. But instead we have this 40-year-old plumber who is the main mascot about gaming. You know, it's kind of funny if you think about it.
I can remember the other day seeing some, BuzzFeed article or whatever, and the whole premise of it was, isn't it a bit weird that, the Mario Peach difference between them, like, especially in age, of just how you've got this 40-year-old plumber trying to save the 20-year-old princess just because of the silliness of characters.
They don't keep the other way around. Technically, Peach is older than Mario.
Is
If you look at yeah, you can look it up, dude. Apparently, Peach is like 30 years old and Mario is like a young 20-year-old, dude. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it could also be fake, of course, but I'm pretty sure people can say whatever they want on the internet, you know. So it could just be fake, but I'm pretty sure we meet about before with the boys, and then we looked it up, and then it turned out Peach is actually older than Mario. But still, it's weird that just this this man is the main mascot, dude. It's just weird.
Well, there's also the thing of how Birdo is male.
Yep.
And that really outraged a lot of people. Like, don't give a shit, personally. Characters are characters. Like, I can remember, just going on a little bit of tangent, but Lugia from Pokemon, by any chance, the legendary. The creator of it, because it was made for the second Pokemon film. Lugia was, and the creator of it, up until his death, always regretted not pushing on Nintendo to make it a female character. It was meant
Yeah.
because legendaries are genderless within Pokemon, but it sort of like wanted this character to have that like motherly instinct over a lot of like other Pokemon and such as that protector role. And like that just for me made it was quite interesting of the thought of how you can have certain animals can be depicted as gendered as well, and just interesting how by developers or the actual creators being feeling so strongly about that, because whilst I look at Lugia and I think that's more of a feminine character, like you can look at different characters and say whether they're more masculine or feminine. At the end of the day, it doesn't particularly matter, but like to feel that strongly is just such an intriguing mindset to be in.
I mean, I guess it just depends also on how it's being done, because that Birdo, like that was done back when she was actually announced, back in that game. So then they did it since the start, And when I think about a more recent cases, Soldier 76, he's being gay. Like it doesn't add anything to the game, so it's already weird to do that, and it's just weird that they didn't do it since the start. Like they're gonna be told out of nowhere, like, oh, he's gay by the way. Like it just weird. It just seems like it's a political statement to do it out of nowhere, just to I don't know, to appeal to some people that otherwise wouldn't play your game. Like it just feels more like a marketing stunt than actually doing it because it was your ID. It's the same with the writer of Harry Potter. I forgot her name. Maybe you know her name.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. About how she just, I don't know, just switches characters from like color or race or whatever it is, or the gender, just because it appeals more to this generation out of nowhere. It just seems fake to me. You know what I mean?
Like I get what you mean. Like we're in such a world where you've got it. It's not like, so to not dig on anyone or anything. Me and Chew, we don't really care about any like your sexuality, race. It don't matter. Like equality all throughout.
Just be you, Just be yourself. That's all you have to do.
The problem that I'm agreeing with you here, Chew, is it's more about honesty rather than anything, and you can just feel like you said, they're doing this rather instead of to make a better character is just like you said, a marketing stunt. It's just more to get favor from a demographic, but like you said, and this is actually really I was watching later on with Jules Holland, which in the UK is just basically like a music show, to put it simply. He sits down with a artist and they just talk about music, their inspirations, and you listen to some good live performances. The one that I watched last night, because it aired, was with Tom Jones, the singer. And he put it perfectly that these days, like the biggest difference compared to pop stars of old is that younger audiences can instantly tell whether a pop star is real or fake, like whether they mean what they're actually singing about, and instead of just being a catchy beat. Like whilst pop music is still quite bland and generic, you can tell whether and that's the sign of real good pop stars, is whether they actually if they actually can vibe with those feelings in layman's terms, instead of just when you see fucking Baby by Justin Timberlake was written by 30 different people and it's just to be the catchiest song it can possibly be, rather than him actually, I don't know, feeling baby ooh. Please don't DMCA strike us. I know that was perfect. But you get what I mean. Like, and it's the same when it comes to all types of media. You can tell why, like, from films to video games and all of that, and how it makes you feel. Like, and just straight off the same point, you can understand, like, from the start, Tracer. Because that's another...
I mean, Tracer is fine. Like, it was nice since the start, and everyone knew about it. But like this dropping Soldier out of nowhere after 2 years or 3 years, I don't know how long it was. It just seems so out of place, and it just shouldn't be happening, because it doesn't change anything about the game. Like, doesn't change the game. It just, where did you just drop it? Like another good example for me would be, I think it was what's it called?
Oh, I was not paying
There you
attention.
goes. I think it was Battlefield 5. I think it was, where
Battlefield 5,
it's
yeah.
it's based on real events. I think it was based on World War II. Then they had like women in there with bionic arms. Like it shouldn't be there. And then their response was, just deal with it. Don't be a crybaby. But like if you're trying to capture something to be realistic, then stick to the realism of the thing. Like even in World War II, there were still women who were actually the snipers probably from, maybe know about them.
Yeah,
Like, there was
the
like a Russian.
Russian female snipers were the best
Yeah,
snipers,
yeah.
basically,
I
for
mean,
Russia in a lot of accounts. Yeah.
yeah. Like instead of putting a female there with bionic arm, make a story about them. Because that would still be a good story and it makes sense because it actually happened. Like, don't just change stuff to appeal to an audience that doesn't even want to play the game anyways. Same with the Lord of the Rings series by Amazon. I saw like a petition about I think it was a feminist group that wanted Gandalf to be a female now out of nowhere, just because according to them, the Lord of the Rings doesn't have any strong female characters. But they're like, wait, what are you on about, dude? There's so many strong female characters in Lord of the Rings. If you think about Eowyn and all these elves as well, like they're strong. I'm pretty sure the strongest character is an elf, a female elf, right?
Galadriel is
Yeah,
probably the strongest of the elves. Yeah.
yeah, she's a female as well. So like those people, they have no idea what they're talking about. They just want to have something to be theirs again. Like,
And
I
well,
feel
just to go on the factor of the Lord of the Rings, like you could hammer on that Galadriel, like, oh, they didn't want her around, but the whole point behind her was that she wasn't going to like join the Fellowship and help them out because she knows herself that she would be too tempted by the ring and its power. She's so powerful herself that one, she knows that she can't be trusted, like, and she doesn't trust herself with that power. But then two, if Sauron was to take control and be able to sway her, then that's way too dangerous to the world. So that's power in a complete different sense, that's being able to have
know yourself,
composure, and to actually be able to know yourself. Because off the same factor, I'm sorry if this is a spoiler to anyone about Lord of the Rings, but come on.
I mean, it's an old movie now.
Yeah.
You should have seen it by now.
Run, shoot, all the way to the end.
I'm running.
Oh! You gotta try it again.
Now what? Again?
Yeah, because you gotta knock out the coins there.
Hate to see it, dude.
But you take Boromir, right? His intentions are so good. And Boromir is a great character. And it's that point of he wants to save the world so much that he gives in to power, gives in to the temptation, hence why he assaults Frodo. And that is such an interesting idea of how you can be great for all the wrong reasons, or you can be bad for all the right reasons, Like, there's that... It's... The destination of a journey has so many chops and changes throughout the whole of it, and you can... And I love that sort of morality of, by being evil, it can be justified if the end goal is for good. That's always like a very intriguing aspect.
I mean, like another great scene from Lord of the Rings is, I think it's called Eowyn, when she kills the Nazgûl and she says, "I am no man." I mean, sure, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but it was still a powerful scene, and like it sent a message. Instead of like, if you look at what's it called, Infinity War, I think it was, but they made this whole scene dedicated to the female characters, but just seems so cringy and so forced, Like just do a good scene. Don't just put all the women in there. Be like, yeah, we're female characters. Look at us, we're so great. Like just like actually give it a good story to it, and like make it a powerful scene, because the Emir one versus a lot more people than probably the one from Adventure. You show the characters,
So one thing that might sound silly straight off the surface, but for me anyway, when you're looking at it, is because I just noticed it. Because I haven't got around to seeing the new Wonder Woman film yet, but it's on my to watch list.
It's a series, right? It's a series, right? It was a series.
No, 1984 came out just before or after Christmas. But at any rate, I still need to watch it. But I was looking at it and went, why what Wonder Woman's full plate armor has got like boob armor, like actual breasts on top of the thing, and you're going, that's got to be really hindering, because just straight up, if you could think in a battle, if you're trying to swing a sword, the reason why armors are so sort of like, put it simply, smooth and is it convex? Like to actually be rounded is to help with movement. So that's only got to get in the way of your arms as you're trying to swing a blade, in the heat of battle. So it just seems so silly. And then straight off the bat, that only resonated with me a second there, with Eowyn, is purely because she's dressed as a man. That's got two different reasons behind it. But one showing that there's no difference between men and women, because there isn't. The only real difference you could say is just women just have genetically a lower bone density. That's just it. So you could break your bones easier, whatever. Just natural strength, all of that, whatever. Who cares? But straight up there, showing that you don't have to, I guess, sexualize a woman in a way to make her a strong character. Like, there for Wonder Woman just feels very weird. And don't get me wrong, that can be looked at as part of, like, the original character design. Because, face it, the original Wonder Woman was wearing, like, the smallest leotard ever. With that's a thing of old, where, that's comic books. And they're going to a very pubescent male audience, right? So, they're just marketing their audience. It makes sense. But these days where comics and quote-unquote nerd culture is mass culture now, isn't it? Like, just think to when Big Bang Theory changed that all out and suddenly becoming a nerd was cool. And that's all just because, well, if you enjoy doing this, why make fun of it anymore? Because you look at it and it's just all imaginative, all cool, so roll with it. And it just comes down to Marvel's becoming big and everyone enjoys it. The same with Star Wars. Star Wars pretty much is genderless, and like I can remember, and I'll applaud Star Wars for that. I can remember the hate when the next character, Rey, was turned out to be male, and like you look at that and go, that's stupid, because Rey, it would not matter if Rey as a character was male or female, which is the best part of it.
Really.
Because like we were saying earlier, the honesty of it is if she was purely put in that role because they had to make a female to purposely go for that audience, that's when that sort of dishonest nature comes into it. And that's when, as a fan or as someone of our age, just looks at that and just goes, that's stupid. Whereas...
Yeah, I mean, it just seems politics are involved in a lot of things now. And you can just tell, when something is there just for the politic reason. But I think, like, I feel like it's not always the audience in like the game audience, like I feel like people go to a game to get out of the world for a second, and they're not here to see more of your political statements about what you think is right.
And because again, off that same role, a lot of people got angry just because not only before the films came out anyway, I'm saying, not only because Rey was female, but then John Boyega playing as Finn. They've got the Han Solo of these films is a black man, and that was just people looking at it without any context, of course. And right now the characters make perfect sense, and I love that expansion on the lore, because of course Finn being an ex-stormtrooper as well, sort of going deeply into, well, after the clones were a thing, they just went and conscripted the world over to fill the stormtroopers, because it was the clone troopers that were, the clones as such. And after that, you've got to refill your ranks. I can't remember for the life of me off the top of my head whether they still kept using clones, but for the majority, it was just conscripted like soldiers. So people that quite often didn't even have the choice, or like I think for Finn, he was picked up as like a child.
Right?
Yeah. So he wouldn't have had the choice either. And that just adds so much. And again, that's another case of it wouldn't have mattered about Finn's gender, his race, whatever. That's just a good character. And that's what I want to see more. And the only thing that I find it so grating is that Star Wars and Marvel are still they're both under the Disney brand, and both these generations under the same sort of Disney overhead leadership. So why the difference in the two is very odd to me,
Yeah. Well, probably still being made by someone else. Probably they probably just have different executors,
Oh, writers
executors
and
and stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would probably change a lot. But still, like personally, I'm just kind of annoyed by all the Force stuff, and I'm pretty sure people would agree. Because like, if you look at a movie like Black Panther, like
Mhm.
that's a really good movie, right?
Mhm.
Like everyone can agree it's a good movie and it was a good character, and like yeah, he was black. That's like great. He's a black character, and people resonate with him. But he's just well done, you know. And it's so annoying when they just add characters just for being there because of their color or because of their race or because they're transgender, you know.
Mm.
They just
Yeah. My only
like
problem with a
do
Black
it to make
Panther
it good.
film is the ending is rushed. That is it. You know, like the final fight scene is just a bit naff, and the CG was definitely rushed in all of that. So again, that's nothing on the characters. Like Black Panther's a good vibe. Like that's just that's a solid film. It's not the best film out of all the Marvel ones, I'll say, but overall it's great, and it's given such a different theme. And like the scene where they're in like Singapore, I think it is. I can't remember, or Hong Kong.
I think Hong
Some
Kong,
Far East Asian city. I can't remember off the top of my head because I haven't watched it for like 2 years now. Like that's an incredible. Like I love that scene and how they're like infiltrating. Again, it doesn't matter what film it is, and Black Panther is a little bit more grounded because there's no superpowers to it, which I love. Like whenever I look at superhero films, I think the best ones are, you know, your Iron Man, where there's not particularly superpowers. Don't get me wrong, the Iron Man, I'm not a fan of Iron Man 2 and 3, but superhero wise, the better ones are those that are grounded and don't just immediately win. And we were talking about Star Wars earlier. My biggest problem with the Star Wars films, or the new series of them anyway, is that there was always, and especially the last film that got released, was there was always I've just got this new ability really at a convenient moment, you know, and you're like, where did you learn that, you know, like suddenly you're pulling this out of the hat.
A good example would be that one, I think where it was Luke, where he turned into a ghost, right, or something.
Yeah.
When they were shooting him, like, okay, how, why? And then you see him sitting there, so far away on a different planet, like, oh, okay, what?
It's like astrally projected himself over there, and you're like, okay.
Sure,
like, I can understand that this could be a thing, because, you know, he's had so many years away and could learn it, but like
better, you know.
Yeah, it would have been nice if we had some at least hint instead of, you know, last second, oh god, we need to find a way to kill off Luke as well as like save the world. Luke just does it. We don't really care how.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I also think that Star Wars is getting old, it's getting stale. They're just milking it now. They're just milking a dry cow at this point, I think, at least.
So, what are your thoughts on Mandalorian then? Because I know you've watched it. The first, you've watched at least first season, right? Have you seen the whole season?
Yeah, I think as well. Yeah, I feel like Mandalorian is like a fresh new idea. I think Star Wars is just the same stuff over and over again, same story pretty much, just different characters. But like Mandalorian is actually something new, which I think is that's why that's better, and let's probably do more of that. Like they need to stop doing the same movie. Like plus, if you think about it, I'm pretty sure all three movies are kind of the same, but just different characters. Like they just have a new villain. They just have three new heroes, pretty much. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, we just got you because you lowered a bit on the thing there. So I'm going to propose the reason why Mandalorian is so good is not because it's basically a cowboy film like a Wild West, you know, because that's what it is by all purposes. When you
that's probably because you have more leeway of going to different planets and explore the world of Star Wars more.
But it's the relationships. When you think about all the best parts of the new Star Wars film, it's not the world. Even though the world's quite cool, it feels quite forced as like why you're in certain places. Like in the second one of the new ones, which makes no sense. But when Finn and I can't remember the engineer girl's name. But when they go to like the casino world where they have like horse racing going on and that. Like, that felt like, why on earth are you there to meet this engineer? Okay, but why does it have to happen on this planet? You know, like, what's the intensive purpose of it? It just feels more like to flex different societies and all of that, whatever. Yeah. But when you look at The Mandalorian, the best bit is the relationship between the characters. and you can really feel like the intricacies. And there was one part of me, so I hate to be the guy that does spoilers, but Mandalorian season 2's been out for 2 months now, right?
I mean,
If you're watching this podcast, you've probably seen it. So I'm going to say quickly jump 2 minutes ahead if you haven't, just to be safe. Hopefully we're done by then. But going to say it now.
Maybe not.
Boba Fett being in it. Chew. I thought originally once, because I heard that spoiler. I'm not against spoilers myself personally, because like that sort of thing. I was late. I was a month late to watching Mandalorian, so it all come out. So knowing that Boba Fett was going to be in it beforehand, I was like, that just feels like they're capitalizing on an old character, a nostalgia factor, like they could have. But Boba Fett being in it was a good addition, right? And that was cool to have a second, not a Mandalorian, but an adjustment sort of like change, because they're quite similar characters. Yeah.
I mean, talking about old characters coming back, like, pretty sure you finished the whole thing as well, like season 2.
Yeah.
Like, even with the return of Luke, like, the people are also gonna capitalize on that. And I wonder what they're gonna do with Luke being in the show, you know?
I think it was more... So we probably won't get to see Luke, because the CG on Luke was terrible. Like, that was just horrid. Purely because they just don't have the same budget the films do. Like, when you look at the budget, like the deep fake on Luke compared to Leia during the last film, big night and day difference. Again, that's just down to the budget and timing of a TV show compared to a film. That's
and also because of a nerd jar with the Star Wars movies, because I didn't see the difference.
Major difference. But whatever. Yeah, that was a bit jarring, but I think that's just to get rid of Baby Yoda, in all frankness, because that arc you got to have somewhere for the Mandalorian to go. So Baby Yoda, or I can't remember his name, because I actually did give him a name. Grogu. Yeah, they've got to have somewhere for him to go. And him finally joining, as they set up in the new trilogy, Luke's school to try and do the new generation of Jedi, that works really quite well. And fine by me, and I've just gone in a massive circle. So...
I mean, some people, he's the main event, though. For my mom, Grogu is the main event. I know that for a fact.
Oh, he was the cute aspect, and everyone loved little Baby Yoda. But now they're going to find the next thing, because, like it or not, Star Wars is all about merchandise. Yeah, Star Wars is all about merchandise. Why do you think they added like so many new droids into the new films? It was to sell
bird things. As well.
It was just so like. They didn't need to give, like, BB-8 I was happy with, but when they added the other ones that were very similar to BB-8, that was just very, why are you doing this sort of thing? Like, they don't need to be there. What purpose do they serve? Sorry, I need to focus right now.
Just being cute, dude. This is to be cute. Oh man, I can't even mess it up at the end, dude.
Yeah, right, last hurdle. Failed.
Memed it up at the end. You hate to see it, dude. Here we go again. My turn.
And I guess that comes down to, like we were saying earlier, in a lot less political light, sure, but the honesty of why do you need these characters? Because you could just do something cool and new with R2-D2, right? In the same sense as they did with BB-8. Like, the BB-8... There was a very cool little, like, RC car drone version, you know, where he rolls about. That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
But you could just do a new and improved... Because they did release one of those for R2-D2 back when I was a kid, and I don't know if they did one, you know, before that. You could just do the same for R2, right? And just have it so it's more controlled and such. Because...
I mean, I was thinking... I also think it was easy because it was like a ball, right? So it's probably easy to do.
Yeah.
I feel like R2-D2 is more like a trash can with wheels. So it's going to be harder to make it more faster and stuff.
And I mean, at
You
any
played
rate,
it.
like I said, BB-8 was not the problem for me. It was the small other droid with like the pointy cone head, whatever. That one just made no sense as to why that was added.
Ah, the shapes, huh? You said the shape. Wow, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
Wow.
of the
Shadow
shapes.
person.
Too sharp a shape for me. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure every Star Wars game they always have like a droid companion, dude. As well, like if you think
Star
about
Wars
that.
game?
Yeah, they always have like a droid companion as well, dude. Like if you think about that one, the most recent one, the Jedi. That guy is a companion.
Yeah.
I also played the story for
No,
Battlefield 2.
Chew, you're blowing my mind right now. Because even going back to say Shadow of the Empire, that on the N64, because I'm trying to think of like the most obscure Star Wars game where you're basically playing as knockoff Han
Luke.
Solo. I'm trying to remember the character's name. Right, I need to jump on this. Let's go for that. Right, we'll just let this
Don't
roll around. That's fine.
Yeah, keep going, dude.
There we go. I'm trying to remember his name, but it was something ridiculous like Hunk, whatever. Hunky Man was his name. Let's go.
Hunk Duo.
Hunk
Duo.
Okay.
Hunk Duo.
But he even had a droid which flew his ship for him. Yeah, you're right. You think of Fallen Order right now. He's got the droid that's the backpack droid. You're right. There was always droids.
I mean,
I guess because they work as a good, like, companion character, where they're just there to give advice on how you're meant to progress.
I guess. I mean, it's also just for probably because usually those games have like a funny character or like a character to laugh at.
Comic relief,
probably,
yeah.
Probably droid usually. It's easy to do with the droid because they can't talk really.
That's sort of what R2 and C-3PO were in the original films, right? Whenever you would have C-3PO just suddenly go, oh bother, and R2-D2 do his like squeal, like, wow! And you're just like, funny R2, yeah. Weren't really that funny, but hey.
Funny robot, ha!
Funny robot, haha. Can I have an option here? Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. There's your option. There you go. Got the coin as well.
Ooh, little dragon coin. There's one over there, but I'm not going to try and get it because that is...
Do it.
Yeah, I will get it.
You did it anyways.
I'll
You don't care.
jabim bam you. Oh,
The combo, the streak.
The streak.
One up.
Bomb.
One up. Easy.
I am
6 1-ups. He's
the
now
master gamer.
Our listeners, he's now in 6 1-ups. In case you're wondering. Unless they're keeping track of all the noise, dude. Like, oh, he's on 1-up noise. He's now 7. Oh.
Nope, in between them. I got another goal.
Nice, dude.
I was getting like I panicked. Okay, we're on Butter Bridge now for those listeners at home. I wonder if we've got any podcasts, and if you've got anyone that's listening to the podcast, there, leave like a comment or head on over to YouTube if there's not a comment section on your platform, and just be there like, oh yeah, I know exactly what level they're on just by the music that's playing, because I bet you there are people that are good enough to know that.
I mean, isn't the music usually? I'm pretty sure in these games that, I mean, even still, they're probably similar, right? They just use the same songs. For, like,
yeah. So what's
tracks.
going on right now is the athletic theme. We're on Butter Bridge 1.
Which for Sky usually, right?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
I think it is, right? I think it is for like Sky levels or Cloud levels. I don't know how you call them. But...
I think they're just for the like. I was going to say grassy levels, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh man.
Do you know you get the underground like cave one?
Yeah.
Yeah. You really got me thinking now, Chew. Like,
did we say today's podcast is a real thinker, man? Apparently, it's a real thinker today. This podcast.
I guess that comes down to like, and we've been thinking about weird topics, like not weird topics, but just out of the ordinary for us to talk about, Chew. Like from just nostalgia to honesty within media. I'll put that down too. Okay, right. I just want to go for
the middle. Yeah.
No. Oh.
Ooh, I was kind of scared there for a moment. Oh no, he's gonna do it again, dude. He's gonna do it again.
He's just gonna fluff it. Hammer Brews? I can't remember.
Yeah, you
Oh,
have fun story,
pooped.
dude?
Yeah, you just got to climb here. I remember now.
You had a fun story to talk about, dude, or something? You were talking about something out of the ordinary?
Everything out of the ordinary. Sorry, no, I've
Oh, the
completely-
conversations. You already got, dude? Yeah, dude.
Look,
Oh,
I'm having to
all
focus
dude.
so hard on the Marios, okay?
Dude, all those
I'm
got Mario
having
now,
to
dude.
channel my inner plumber. There we go.
It's even better if you watch the animated series of Mario. I don't know if you watched those or not.
Dude, those were so good. Did you watch the Sonic ones
dude.
as well?
No, that's sorry. I don't watch Mario ones,
Oh.
dude, but I thought they were amazing, dude. Especially the one where they went to capture the president of the United States. I think that was so funny, dude. They just took us all White House hostage, dude. Like, oh, okay.
boy.
And I,
That was the weird era. I hope we get that back because, you know, we missed out. There was going to be the Legend of Zelda live action, you know, and we missed out on that because Netflix leaked it. And Nintendo were like, nope.
yeah, yep. Panic mode activated.
Panic mode activate. Nintendo out, yo. And, like, there's so many things like, that would have been awesome because you watched The Witcher 3, right?
No. So, dude.
Or the Witcher series. You haven't played Witcher 3, but...
Oh, yeah, I've played Witcher 3. I played it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
played Witcher 3. I watched the series.
Well, go away and watch the series just for stars, because it's a good series. I can understand why some people are disappointed in it, because The Witcher has got such rich lore around it, but it's a good series.
I've also heard he lost his beard, dude. It's kind of sad. He doesn't have a beard anymore.
Oh,
Very series. Yep.
But, like, if they had done Zelda in a, I don't want to say a similar light, but with as much, like, detail, oh, that'd have been good. And I just wonder how they would have done it, like, where they've got this whole new world, because Zelda's very linear, right? So you can tell a story, but, like, doing, I don't know, 6 1-hour episodes, to me, it just makes me think, like, how would you go about doing that? Like, with The Legend of Zelda, like, would you just retell a previous game? Or...
Nah. I don't think so. That'll be too weak. I think they would probably reuse those characters. I would think they were gonna do. Like reuse, what's his name? With the mask? What's his name, dude?
Skull Kid.
Skull Kid, yeah, just reuse them for like a new story. And the same with all the other characters.
Alright.
Just because why not, you know? Like, they're cool characters and it would be fun to see more about them and just recreate the game which you already played. I think that would be a bit disappointing if they did do that. Ooh, that's dangerous.
So, one of my favorite, like, adaptations of anything is Legend of Zelda mangas. If anyone, like, I'm sure there's people at home that have read them as well, and like, oh my god, they're awesome. This was just like a really weird, obscure thing I found as a child. We were at like a car boot or something, and there was like a whole box set all the way up to, I'm trying to remember which game. I want to say Wind Waker, and it just basically detailed the entire stories, but like with some weird filler, some bits taken out, and they were just really good adaptations. But
yeah,
you know, you get like there's the manga, anime, Netflix sort of meme that goes around, like of how it changes. Have you ever seen those memes?
Do you mean the adaptation meme about
yeah. And I feel like that could worryingly be the thing for Legend of Zelda, because one, Link is a hard character to portray, because you would not
he
want...
can talk.
He can't talk. If he wants to talk, that'd be weird. Second, do you make him Kid Link or Adult Link? Because child violence is a real thing, which I imagine Netflix would worry about. And then Adult Link is not that, like, muscular and... Well, he's not even that masculine, you know, like whenever people would look at it and didn't know about Legend of Zelda, you would think Link is Zelda, like that's meant to be like a female warrior hero, whatever.
Whoa,
because you know, like, yeah, he absolutely pelted me. But just because he's wearing like a tunic, like in today's standards, anyway, you're used to your male hero wearing like.
Cargo shorts.
Well, not cargo shorts, but like full plate armor, you know, World of Warcraft style, the paladin or that sort of thing. Whereas, like here, it's no, he's just wearing a green tunic and is vibing.
Yeah,
like
dude. He's
his
whenever
only
it's
bit.
comfortable.
Oh, a bit of slowdown.
Yeah,
The
lagging it up, dude.
the emulator just could not handle the Super Coopers. I have no
The
idea
nice
where I'm
Super
going.
Koopas.
Oh god, no, we're at the end.
The finish.
Okay.
You made it. Good job. Good job. Good job.
This is why I worry. You know, everyone's going about N64 and the Super on Nintendo Online. I don't know if it could handle it. If you get slowdown like that,
it shouldn't be lagging. It's just great. It shouldn't be lagging for this game.
It's poorly
It's
coded
bad.
emulator. I have no
It's
idea
bad,
what
dude.
emulator they're running on this, but yeah, because I've tried playing Donkey Kong Country, and there is a lot of lags.
Oh man.
I don't know if it's
God,
because
man.
we've got like the same with you, ain't it? We both got the original Switch, not the red box Switch, and that's actually an interesting thing we could talk about to finish off the podcast. Is you seen the rumors about the new Switch
dude.
that's coming
The
out?
4K version.
4K, still sticking with 720p handheld screen, but an OLED instead. And I'm not gonna lie, this
I'm
because
tempted.
we've had rumors for like the last 2 years that there's going to be a new 4K Switch. Like that's purely because that's always going to be on the cards. Like Nintendo just have to do that, and I think largely the 4K aspect. Oh, that's if you've got a Yoshi.
Oh. It's it.
Largely the 4K aspect is going to be upscaling rather than it properly playing at 4K, because face it, but and that's why I was sort of like more in your camp. Can you remember when we did the predictions of maybe they'll just go with a dock Pro as such, and
Yeah.
they just
I remember that.
do another revision of the normal Switch, like a better screen, like the OLED, and it really comes down to the dock, because I still hammer on that more hard because I can't see the actual Switch itself being able to do 4K properly at the rates they want. You just have like an external graphics card within the dock to be able to help with the upscaling and such. And it could just be that rather than a proper graphics card is just a chip to help with the upscaling. And that's what you see if you've seen the retro stuff where they can make a GameCube and they use the digital output and then upscale it to 1080p from the 480 standard def. And I reckon that's probably what's going to happen. Is it's just to make it look better and... Oh, yeah, right, we run.
I mean, we don't even know if it's real anyway, so like, it could also be rumors forever, you know. It's not
Nintendo's
confirmed.
done a lot of agreements with Samsung in the past, so that's why I would give it some validity. But you're right, yeah, this could just be another... It's a safe bet, that's it, right? So...
I mean, one thing about Nintendo, if you actually know, dude, is there's nothing safe in Nintendo, dude. It's always out of left field what they do. Either they make the dumbest decisions ever, or they just do the most random, most epic thing ever, you know? And, like, it's never clear what's gonna happen with Nintendo.
Like, so to put it that way, you can always understand the decisions from Nintendo, even if they are dumb. Like, for example, a lot of people will... Oh, no hidden block here. We're going into this one. Take a look at...
You got this, man.
Do I? I'm scared. Take a look at ARMS, for example. That game, by all accounts, flopped, I think, for what Nintendo wanted, because they wanted another Splatoon, didn't they? Quite simply.
Yeah, a new IP.
And
A good IP,
that's
yeah.
what gave ARMS life, was that Splatoon was a success, so let's do this. And I think that's just because the game was very confusing in what it was for a lot of people. Like, when they were doing the marketing and the announcements and that, as these characters. The ARMS itself as well is a weird game of how it plays. Like, as a
There's so
casual...
many different ones.
Yeah, as a casual fan to it, it can feel quite clunky. When you really get into ARMS, it is good. Like, that's a game which has got so much potential. Do you think they're going to do an ARMS 2? Like a sequel?
Well, I mean, the game... I wouldn't say it flopped that much, but I bet you it did so pretty well. Like, of course, not crazy, but it just that it died out really early, like really fast, just because the game got boring really quick, and it was just tiring to play, because you had to actually use your arms and stuff.
I mean, you can
And
use buttons, like...
fully though, but
Yeah,
I'm assuming I fully use
it's got
buttons.
gamepad support completely.
Right. Oh, I didn't even know that, dude. And I played the game, so they should probably make it more clear, dude, in the future.
I'm quickly
There are
having a
multiple
look
options.
at the ARM Switch sales to try and see how many they reckon have been sold.
I think that's 2 million, right?
Over
Or
2
3
mil. For me, I think that's a fail, considering the install... Like, there's over 80 million Switches. To me, that's a fail. Considering that Mario Kart 8 is...
Yeah, but dude, Mario Kart is the best title we have. Like, if you think of the tennis game, also it's like 3.6 mil. No, and this tennis game, that's like one of the most popular... I'm pretty sure this is the most popular sport they have. So for this thing 3 million, and I'm saying over 2 million, I think that's still okay for a new IP.
Okay, right. So Splatoon 2 has sold over 3 million as of August 2020. So,
Yeah, see, that's
okay,
alright.
I thought Splatoon was like approaching on 10 mil. Just because that always seems to be alive, Splatoon 2. Like, even, considering that they brought back the Splatfest, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Splatoon, it just has a really hardcore fan base there. Which is
Yeah,
great.
Yes, it surely has.
Like, one thing I really want is one of the Splatoon, like, squid plushies. I really want one of those. So they're adorable, and I just absolutely love it. Like, one of the pillow sort of style ones. Oh, he's got the moves. Look at this boy
The
go.
moves, dude. I've learned from Mario Maker too, dude.
You have. You forget how many of, like, those moves actually did originate from these games and can just be, like, transferred over.
Ooh. What's happening?
One of the Quake makers down below. It's like shaking it
nasty.
up. Mm.
Yeah, I got debated my prime blonde.
Well, Chew, I think we're going to have to
Yeah.
call it here, buddy. We're in the Forest of Illusion. I'm getting a bit lost over here. We might have to go find ourselves and come back another time. We'll keep the save file, and perhaps a little bit in the future, we'll come back to Super Mario World. Probably not next week, because I think... I think that I quite like changing it up each and every week, you know?
Okay.
We will come
That's
back.
fine. I mean,
Well,
we'll see.
later.
We'll have the discussions with the closed doors, and we'll talk it out like gentlemen.
Yes. We'll decide the menu for next week, I think.
Yeah.
So we do change it up each and every week, and perhaps we might have a if this was really a hit, we'll keep going back, and maybe we'll start doing the podcast on like finish a game from start to finish over the course of the podcast.
And I'm gonna be honest, dude. I did like the caviar and champagne, so I did like the menu today. I did like the menu today.
So I wasn't really a big fan of caviar beforehand. You know, I'd only had the quote-unquote knockoff stuff, you know, Salmon Roe. But the real caviar is
cheap
pretty
caviar.
good. Yeah, the cheap caviar weren't that great, but real caviar, I can dig it. It's an acquired taste, but I can do it.
It's also for special occasions, like today, dude. So don't eat it too often, otherwise it's gonna lose its value.
We'll say, not the biggest fan of champagne still. I'm more of a Prosecco guy because it's a bit sweeter. Like, champagne's just too dry. But
how about next time, dude? Next time there's some Prosecco for you.
Thank you. And of course,
Don't worry, man.
thank you everyone out there for listening on in. Love each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in over on YouTube, over on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts, Google Music as well, Google Podcasts. We absolutely love each and every one of you for tuning in. Make sure to head on over to Twitter, Cap Club Cast. Drop us a follow on there to, of course, keep updated each and every week. Yes, Instagram as well, so that you can just see what's going on in the world of the Cap Club. And until next time, stay safe. We'll speak to you soon.
See you later.